Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're diving into something that's quietly draining the wealth of everyday middle-class Americans. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars lost to completely optional investment taxes. You know the drill, right? Every April, you file your taxes, you plug in your investment income, and it just feels totally normal. But here's the secret no one tells everyday investors. Those taxes, they're actually a design choice. The government literally built in optionality, letting you legally bypass these taxes if you know which accounts to use. But since most folks just aren't taught the rules of the game, they make a massive, silent mistake. And when I say massive, I mean $280,000 massive. That's a pretty conservative estimate of the after-tax wealth that hardworking people just leave on the table over a 30-year career. I mean, picture this. Two households, same exact income, same investments, same market returns. The only difference, how the accounts holding their money are taxed. Household A captures that 280 grand, while Household B just hands it right over to the IRS. This has absolutely nothing to do with bad market timing or picking the wrong stocks. It is 100% about tax passivity.
So let me ask you a quick question. What tax rate are your investment gains actually paying right now? Not your income tax bracket, your investments. Honestly, most people have absolutely no idea. They just know they're doing the right thing by investing every month. But that gap in knowledge, that uncertainty, that is exactly where the IRS quietly siphons off your future retirement wealth. If you aren't playing by the specific rules of the system, you just default to the standard tax treatment. And spoiler alert, the standard treatment is almost never in your favor. Okay, so to stop the bleeding, we really have to break down the framework that dictates all of this. Because the IRS does not treat all your investment accounts the same way. Not even close. They actually drop them into three very different buckets. And figuring out which of these three buckets your money lives in is honestly probably the single most important tax decision you'll ever make as an investor. It really helps to completely reframe how we look at our relationship with the IRS. Think of it like this. In bucket one, your standard taxable brokerage accounts, the IRS is basically your business partner. They take a cut of your dividends every single year and a hefty slice of your capital gains when you sell. Then you have bucket two. These are tax-deferred accounts like your traditional 401k. Here, the IRS acts like a silent lender. They give you a nice little tax deduction up front, sure, but they are just waiting patiently to take a massive cut later when you withdraw in retirement. But then there's bucket three, the tax-free bucket. This is your Roth IRA, and here the IRS is completely bought out. You pay taxes on the initial seed money, and they agree to never, ever touch your harvest. The real danger for your wealth is simply picking the wrong partner. For instance, let's say you invest $500 a month for 30 years. If you put that in a taxable bucket instead of a tax-free one, you're looking at an estimated $70,000 in lifetime tax drag. When you actually break that down, it's a relentless silent loss of $6.40 every single day. That's the price of a fancy coffee just evaporating from your net worth daily, all because your money was sitting in the wrong type of account. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, I'm good. I max out my traditional 401k. And hey, bucket two is definitely better than bucket one. But even if you feel like you're doing everything right by heavily funding that traditional 401k, you might actually be marching straight into a massive tax trap that's perfectly designed to spring exactly when you retire. Because remember, a traditional 401k only defers your taxes. It doesn't eliminate them. Let's look at how this actually plays out over your lifetime. That awesome tax break you celebrated at age 30? Yeah, it quietly morphs into something called required minimum distributions, or RMDs, by the time you hit 73. Basically, the IRS legally forces you to withdraw a minimum amount every single year. So if you've been a diligent saver and built up, say, a $1.2 million 401k, your forced withdrawal in that first year could be roughly $43,000. And that is purely taxable income. It could literally push you into an even higher tax bracket in retirement than when you were working. Your tax deferral strategy just turned into a massive tax concentration problem.
So, how do we escape the traditional 401k trap? We have to look for better options. And without a doubt, the absolute best option, I mean, seriously, this is a total game changer, is an account a lot of folks already have, but almost nobody uses right: the Health Savings Account, or HSA. Now, most people just treat their HSA like a pre-tax debit card for, dental cleanings and copays. But if you have a high-deductible health plan, the HSA is literally the greatest wealth-building tool hiding in plain sight.
Here is exactly why. The invested HSA is the only account in the entire American tax code that gives you a triple tax advantage. It gives you absolute maximum leverage against the IRS. Let's count them out. Step 1. Your money goes in pre-tax, which instantly lowers your current tax bill.
Step 2, all that money grows completely tax-free inside the account. And step 3, withdrawals for qualified medical expenses come out 100% tax-free. 3 distinct advantages. Literally no other account does all 3. And when you run the math on that triple advantage, the results are just wild. If a family maxes out their HSA contributions and simply invests that money in a standard index fund over 30 years, they can build a massive nest egg of approximately $808,000. Over 800 grand. And that entire balance is completely tax-free for medical expenses. When you consider that the average retiring couple will need over $300,000 for healthcare, this account easily covers it, basically acting as a highly optimized secondary retirement fund. But the crazy part is, the benefits start way before you even think about retiring. By just using an HSA, the government effectively gives you what I like to call a secret match. If you're sitting in the 22% tax bracket and you max out a family HSA, you get guaranteed upfront tax savings of about $1,881. That is an immediate, guaranteed return on your money before your investments even earn a single penny. Leaving that on the table? That's literally like refusing free match money from your boss.
Okay, so just knowing about these tax-free accounts isn't quite the whole battle. To build true wealth, you have to fund them in a very specific, mathematically optimized sequence. If you're just sort of randomly throwing money into these accounts without a real strategy, you're still leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. The order of operations matters just as much as how much you're saving. So here's the exact blueprint you want to follow. First things first, capture your free employer 401k match because nothing beats a 100% instant return. Once you've got that, immediately pivot and secure the triple tax advantage of the HSA. Max that out. From there, move on to funding your Roth IRA to lock in that permanent tax-free growth. Once your Roth is fully funded, then you go back and max out the rest of your 401k. Ideally, a Roth 401k if your company offers it. Finally, and only when all those tax advantage buckets are completely full, do you use taxable brokerage accounts. Those are your absolute last resort. Yet for most people, the reality is completely backwards. The median investor is sitting on tens of thousands of dollars, about $47,000 on average, in heavily taxed brokerage accounts, while their totally tax-free Roth IRA just sits there completely empty. This isn't a savings problem, guys. It's a placement problem. And it honestly just comes down to the inertia of setting it up. See, unlike a 401k that automatically enrolls you through work, a Roth IRA requires you to actually go out, pick a provider, open the account, and choose the investments yourself. Because it takes that active step to open a Roth IRA, people just put it off. They think, oh, I'll get to it when work calms down, or maybe next year. But waiting just 10 years, say deciding to start at 40 instead of 30, destroys over $500,000 of tax-free growth. Let that sink in for a second. The cost of a 10-year delay isn't just the contributions you missed. It's a staggering $517,000 in missed compounding that the IRS would never, ever have touched. Think of it like this. You absolutely do not have to partner with the IRS on your investments. The government has essentially built 3 doors for your money. Door 1 takes a big cut every year. Door 2 takes a massive cut right at the end. But behind door 3, there's a big sign that says, no partner. You get to keep everything. The HSA is door 3. The Roth IRA is door 3. They are entirely unlocked right now. It's completely up to you to just reach out and turn the handle. So let's actually turn the handle. Don't just passively listen to this and move on with your day. Take 20 minutes today to take action. Go check your HR portal and make sure you're getting that full 401k match. Log into your HSA right now and actually invest that idle cash instead of just letting it sit there losing to inflation. Or go up in that Roth IRA. If you act quickly, you might even be able to capture prior year contributions before the tax filing deadline, instantly supercharging your tax-free bucket. Breaking out of tax passivity starts right now with one single action. If this explainer gave you a new perspective on your money, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and ring that bell icon. We are fully dedicated to bringing you the exact strategies you need to actively optimize your financial future. And trust me, you are not going to want to miss what we break down next. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Which of the 3 tax-free doors have you been leaving locked all these years? Are you completely missing out on the Roth IRA? Are you letting your HSA gather dust in cash? Or maybe you've been ignoring the Roth 401k option at work. Drop a comment below and let us know which wealth-building account you're going to unlock today. Because every single day you wait, the IRS wins. I'll see you in the next explainer.